Stellar XLM is set to create new millionaires. Pay attention. Why nobody sees this coming. The spotlight has always been on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and lately meme coins. But what if the biggest play wasn't loud? What if it was hiding in plain sight, built for institutions quietly onboarding the next financial elite? That's Stellar XLM. See, Bitcoin was built to disrupt money. Ethereum was built to disrupt code. But Stellar? Stellar was built to connect systems, banking systems, payment processors, and emerging economies that have been left behind. It's not sexy. It's not trending. But that's exactly why it's the kind of asymmetric play legacy wealth is made from. While headlines are chasing pump and dumps and ETF approvals, Stellar has been building something far more foundational, an infrastructure for global payments, compliant DeFi, and real-world finance integration. And now, the institutions are starting to notice. Quietly but deliberately. You won't see influencers tweeting about it every hour. You won't find it on the top of the trending tab. What you will find is Stellar entering partnerships with humanitarian agencies, powering USDC off-ramps in regions where banking is broken, and being considered for central bank digital currency pilots. That's not noise. That's signal. Stellar isn't trying to be the next Ethereum. It's playing a different game altogether. Compliance-first finance. It's the blockchain you build with, not speculate on. And that's what separates hype from legacy-building wealth. It's not just a token. It's a system. One that could turn early holders into the next wave of millionaires. And the craziest part? Most retail investors have no idea. Because if you're just looking at the price chart, you're missing 90% of the picture. The price is the last thing to move. The real story? It's in the code being deployed, the partnerships being signed, the corridors being opened. And once all that hits critical mass, the revaluation happens fast. Subscribe for more deep dive insights like this. Rocket Section 2. The Blueprint for Global Financial Rails. Let's break down the mechanics. Stellar was designed from day one to be a bridge, not a silo. It's built for asset issuance, FX trading, CBDC deployment, and seamless interoperability between fiat and digital. It's everything traditional finance needs to go blockchain native, without the chaos of DeFi anarchy. This isn't a playground for yield farming experiments. This is a financial backbone designed for scale, trust, and compliance. Stellar isn't trying to replace the financial system. It's upgrading it. Quietly, deliberately. Right now, over 25 financial institutions are actively exploring or deploying on Stellar. We're talking about cross-border payment corridors with MoneyGram. We're talking USDC ramps in underserved regions. We're seeing African mobile money integrations, bridging traditional currency systems with digital liquidity. Even central banks are peeking under the hood. Why? Because Stellar's architecture is lightweight, auditable, and fast. The kind of blockchain that doesn't scream for attention, but delivers real solutions in real time. And then there's Palago Labs. Palago isn't some hype-fueled DeFi clone. It's trade finance reimagined. Businesses can tokenize invoices, secure credit through smart contracts, and move capital without intermediaries. All through Sorbonne, Stellar's smart contract layer. We're talking programmable financial instruments that cut out weeks of paperwork. These aren't vaporware experiments. These are active, working solutions. And every single integration is a needle moving toward massive institutional onboarding. This is how generational wealth gets formed, not by catching meme pumps, but by standing at the foundation of real financial infrastructure being rebuilt in real time. Follow the builders. Follow the adoption. And you'll see why Stellar XLM might be the most underrated wealth creation engine in crypto. The current price is a distraction. Let's address the elephant in the room. Stellar's price. At under 15 cents, it doesn't feel like a millionaire maker. But that's where most people get it wrong. Everyone is conditioned to chase green candles, to react to volatility. But that mindset only benefits the early movers, the ones who got in when things were quiet. The truth is, by the time a token is trending on Twitter, the asymmetric opportunity is already gone. Market cap and fully diluted value only tell part of the story. What matters is utility, network velocity, and adoption infrastructure. The reason XLM is still cheap? Institutions are still testing the rails. They don't FOMO. They integrate. They build. They trial. And once the integrations reach critical mass, the capital flows in fast. Wall Street isn't waiting for permission. They're observing. They're piloting. They're preparing. When MoneyGram first integrated USDC on Stellar, it didn't move the price overnight. But now that infrastructure is quietly live in over 180 countries, the impact is compounding beneath the surface. Retail users don't realize how big that is, because we've been trained to equate movement with momentum. But here, the movement is underground. It's foundational. And once that foundation is solid enough, the revaluation isn't gradual, it's explosive. It's the same story we've seen before. Amazon spent years trading sideways while building its infrastructure. Then, suddenly, it wasn't an online bookstore. It was the world's default infrastructure layer for e-commerce and cloud. The next leg up for XLM won't be hype-based. It'll be utility-driven. It'll be when Pelago's trade finance tools go from beta to mainstream. When a central bank announces a pilot using Stellar rails. When USDC on off-ramps become the norm in emerging markets. And when that happens, price discovery goes vertical. Quiet accumulation leads to loud revaluation. That's how wealth is made, not in the pump, but in the patience before it. Stellar's institutional strategy, working silently, scaling steadily. Stellar's approach to growth is the opposite of Ethereum's. Instead of developer chaos and open experimentation, Stellar is focused on enterprise-grade reliability. It's working hand-in-hand with regulators, enterprises, and NGOs to build practical financial tools that solve real problems for real economies. This is infrastructure with intentionality. While other chains are trying to attract attention through hype-driven launches and viral speculation, Stellar is sitting in high-level meetings with ministries of finance, central bank researchers, and international development agencies. The Stellar Development Foundation, SDF, isn't trying to hype the next DEX or Gamify project. They're onboarding national financial systems, quietly, steadily, and with surgical precision. They helped Ukraine digitize their wartime humanitarian aid disbursements, proving blockchain isn't just a theory, it's a tool for survival. They're in conversations with Africa's biggest remittance hubs, enabling borderless access to digital dollars in regions where cash is unreliable and banking is broken. They're building Soroban, a smart contract layer that adds programmability without compromising compliance. Soroban isn't for Degans. It's for developers building fintech applications that need to scale legally across jurisdictions. Think programmable savings accounts, stablecoin-powered payrolls, compliance-friendly DeFi protocols, and on-chain credit scoring. Not for a crypto casino, but for the unbanked, for small businesses, for emerging economies. This isn't just another crypto project. This is financial infrastructure, global, resilient, open source, and fast becoming indispensable. If you're early to that, you're not just holding a token. You're holding a piece of the next financial era. And history has always rewarded those who got in before the world realized what was being built. Timing the wealth transfer. This is where the millionaire math starts to click. A $10,000 investment in XLM today buys over 66,000 tokens. If XLM reaches just $5, a realistic target given its potential role in CBDCs, remittances, and trade finance, that's over $330,000. And we're not even talking about moonshots yet. At $10, you're at $660,000. At $15, you've crossed the millionaire line. But here's the kicker, this isn't built on speculation. It's built on infrastructure, real-world adoption, institutional trust. And in a world where most retail investors are glued to meme pumps, the smartest money is quietly positioning for utility revaluation. We're not guessing here. The pipes are already being laid. The corridors are already live. The capital, slow, steady, and serious, is already flowing through Stellar's rails. You don't need hype cycles when you have international remittance hubs going digital. You don't need viral marketing when your tech is powering digital wallets in nations with collapsed banking infrastructure. That's where real demand comes from. The opportunity here isn't to guess if Stellar will get used. It's to recognize that it already is. And the only thing lagging behind? The price. The wealth transfer is about to get real. Trillions in traditional assets are making their way to tokenized systems. ISO 20022, Swift integrations, CBDC pilots. This is a complete rewiring of the global financial matrix. And when that shift finalizes, there won't be time to catch up. This isn't about overnight wealth. This is about inevitable wealth for those paying attention. You're not early to a trade. You're early to a transformation, the silent revolution. While the market chases noise, Stellar is engineering a global financial revolution. It's not speculative. It's structural. It's systemic. It's happening. And for early holders, that's the kind of setup that makes millionaires not overnight but for life. This isn't about catching a trend. It's about recognizing a transformation. Because the next generation of wealth won't be minted in meme coins or hype tokens. It'll be forged in the quiet, regulated corridors where Stellar is already laying the pipes. While others are focused on what's pumping, those paying attention to Stellar are focused on what's building. And that difference, that's the edge. The headlines will come eventually, but by then the price will already have moved. The partnerships will already be public. And the best entry points? Gone. Don't wait for headlines to confirm what's already happening beneath the surface. Don't wait for institutions to validate what you already see unfolding. The shift is here. The rails are being laid. And XLM is sitting right at the heart of it all. If you're watching closely, you're already ahead of 99%. Because this isn't just about crypto anymore. It's about financial sovereignty, inclusion, infrastructure, and unstoppable evolution. Subscribe to Be Crypto Smart and turn on notifications. The future of finance is being built right now, and this is your front row seat.